Hello YouTube, GeekyAustin here, and today I'm going to review the new DC Universe film, Justice League. Directed by Zack Snyder, this film has the returning cast of Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, but also bringing in new folks like Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller. And overall, this movie was average. But I found out lately, and I understand now, why the film suffers in some areas. I found out lately that Zack Snyder lost his daughter, Autumn Snyder, and he stepped down during production. Joss Whedon took over during post-production, and pretty much finished up the rest of the film, did some reshoots and everything, and they threw the movie into theaters. Knowing this now, I understand why this movie suffers. This movie isn't terrible, but, yeah, it could have been better. But now knowing this, I understand. And because of that, I'm not going to be very harsh on you, Snyder. Because this film does have your fingerprints on it from Batman v Superman and Man of Steel. Not as bad, but I'll be kind to you, man. I'm not going to say anything about you. Overall, yeah, the movie is average. It's got good things and bad things. And honestly, the movie is way better than I thought it would be, I'll be honest. It is way better than Batman v Superman. It is. And yeah, it is a little better than Man of Steel. But it still does have those dull scenery, dull colors in it. In other words, trying to make it look sinister and serious. All the bright, beautiful colors of Wonder Woman, they're not in this anymore. They're in just a few shots of Themyscira, but that's about it. And this movie is much more lighthearted. It's not as dark and serious as Batman v Superman and Man of Steel was. And I feel that most of this has to do with Joss Whedon's take on it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel that's the reason. But either way, because of that, this movie does fare much better. Because yeah, right off the bat, the opening sequence with Batman chasing down a parademon. That entire opening sequence is shot beautifully, it's executed well, and looks gorgeous. And it shows once again that the dark and dull colors that I was talking about, it works best with just Batman. Put Batman with those colors and it won't look bad at all. But yeah, once you start throwing the other heroes in, it starts to look murky. It just doesn't look good. It just looks good with Batman. But yeah, that entire opening sequence wasn't bad. The performance from everybody across the board, they weren't bad. It's just some of them, they could have done better. Ben Affleck, once again, he did a good job as Batman. I felt he was just as good as in Batman v Superman. Gal Gadot, once again, fantastic. She is a fantastic actress. I hope she keeps doing Wonder Woman for a long time. She is perfect. There's nothing about her that I didn't like. She did a good job with her scenes, and it was nice to see her in the movie again. Henry Cavill, for his few scenes of Superman towards the end, he did a good job, and honestly, I think this is the best I've seen him as Superman. If I had to be honest, it's definitely the most action-packed I've seen of Superman, and the best execution, and once he returns, it feels great. As for the new folks, Ezra Miller as the Flash, this guy was hilarious. This was a perfect choice. The little bit of character that you get from him, showing his father in jail and trying to fit in with others, that was nice. Right off from the bat, he wants to join the Justice League because he has no friends. It was a little bit of funny humor, and I liked it. All the humor from the Flash works. I really do like the way they executed him, the way his action scenes are. They were entertaining. Just everything about Ezra Miller, well done, man. You did a good job. And Jason Momoa plays Aquaman. I will say, he looks the part, he sounds the part, and overall, for his little bit of character he's got, yeah, it works. He pulls off a good, convincing Aquaman. I do like what they've done with him. The only thing, of course, is that he doesn't have a whole lot of backstory put in, just that you know that he's been saving people in the sea. His character is not as fleshed out as the Flash was. But yeah, out of all the new characters, the Flash is the most fleshed out of the three. For Ray Fisher, for example, again, he makes a good cyborg. He looks the part, he sounds the part. I think he can make a good cyborg. The only problem is, he was not given a whole lot to do in this movie other than taking the cubes at the end and separating them. Other than just that and controlling a few computers, he doesn't do much else. Not a whole lot is done with this character, and it would have been nice if it was. But just for the looks and the acting, I think Ray Fisher can make a good cyborg. Just give him some more to do and he'll be fine. And okay, other than that, all the side characters, side actors, they all did a good job. All of them were basically from their previous films. They all did a good job. Not bad. And as I mentioned again, yeah, the humor. All the jokes in the movie work really good. All the ones from The Flash worked, the few from Aquaman worked. This movie, as I just stated, it's much more lighthearted than the previous films, and because of that, I managed to enjoy it more. It just didn't feel like it was trying to be so serious, in other words. Very nice. I'm very glad they did that. And yeah, the action and the soundtrack. Again, these are definitely the biggest highlights of it. The soundtrack was done by Danny Elfman, who everyone would know best for the Batman theme. The good old original Batman theme song from 1989. The soundtrack sounds good in several areas, and also Danny Elfman does put in his own bits and pieces here of the original Batman theme and from Batman Returns, and also little snippets of John Williams' Superman theme is put in there too. It's been a long time since I've seen a movie with the original Batman theme song. That was very nice. I'm glad he did that. And as I stated with the action, all the action is done. It's entertaining to watch. It's energetic. It's shot very well. The CG for most of the action looks really good. Especially during the fight on Themyscira with Steppenwolf. That entire sequence looks good. So does confronting him the first time with Flash running around against the wall and going to touch Wonder Woman's sword. That was very nice. But, sadly, that's where we go into the negatives. The biggest problem that I have, well, this ain't the biggest problem, but it's one of the more serious ones. It felt rushed. I feel like because of these guys trying to put all of these new characters into this movie so they can make their next film, the entirety of the movie feels rushed. So, if they were to have cut some of the characters out, maybe have them come up in a next movie, the pacing might have worked better. But still, it's nice enough that they were able to get these characters in and still be an entertaining movie at least. And other than that, of course, Steppenwolf. I know that Steppenwolf is a character from Apocalypse. He has appeared in the comics before, and he's an Apocalypse character, so it's nice they brought him on board. The CG on him does look good, but at times it looks a little weak in areas, so he kind of clashes with most of the environment around him. But still, the motion capture and the CG work on him looks good. But the biggest problem, he still comes off as another throwaway character. There's a lot more backstory given to him than other characters, and good grief, he is way better than Doomsday. Ooh, he's better than Doomsday. But still, he comes off as a bit of a throwaway. And yeah, speaking of CGI, the CGI is not great in areas, and even though it's not perfect, I have come to notice something else too recently. I never known this because I don't pay attention to the news on these movies because I want to go in with as open-minded as possible. I don't want to expose myself to too many trailers or reviews or anything else on some of these movies. I did not know about this, but Henry Cavill, the actor who played Superman, because of the slow production and everything at the time, he was also working on the new Mission Impossible movie, and because of this, he had a full mustache. So, Josh Whedon and them had to digitally erase the mustache with a CGI lip. Finding this out, though, I'll be honest, I never noticed. I felt at times that something felt off on Superman. Maybe the coloring, maybe the way it was shot or something. I just felt that was the reason. But okay, it was because they digitally replaced his mouth for every single shot. And of course, the other thing I have is that the style from Wonder Woman, yeah, it's been totally thrown out. Now, it is very lighthearted, so just like Wonder Woman, it has a lot of lighthearted moments, and because of that, again, it's just as enjoyable as Wonder Woman. But nah, like I just stated, because of shooting the majority of the film in the dark and gloomy, faded color look, yeah, that entire style for Wonder Woman has been thrown out. Other than for Themyscira, yeah. It would have been nice if the entire look and feel of Wonder Woman was in this too, but oh well. And now we get to the biggest problem I have with this movie. This is just me being nitpicky. I'm being honest. It's just me being nitpicky. But, okay. We got a Justice League movie. We got a DC superhero movie with Apocalypse, with boom tubes, with parademons coming out and taking people to make more parademons. We got everything set up. We even got Steppenwolf, so we got everything set up for an Apocalypse type action movie. Think about any Justice League movie, almost any animated Justice League movie, animated DC movie, the Justice League show itself, Superman, the animated series, anything like that where Apocalypse was involved. Who is the number one character any fan expects to see? Even a brief cameo would have been nice. Darkseid. Darkseid is not in this movie at all. Steppenwolf just mentions his name. Like I said, this is probably me being nitpicky, but that upset me. Even a cameo of Darkseid would have been nice, but instead, he is tossed to the side. Just a mention of his name, and that's it. No more. He is hinted at, and they don't even get people pumped up by showing him. Even a picture of his face would have been nice. But still, because of that, I was very upset when it was revealed at the very end that Darkseid did not even get one scene in the movie. But still, overall, the movie is average. Honestly, I might feel it's a bit above average, because it is way, way better than Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. It is nowhere as good as Wonder Woman. Like I said, it is more middle grounded. Because of its lighthearted tone, the movie can be much more enjoyable. The action is great. The soundtrack is good. All the actors do a great job. Even if the film is a bit rushed, they do a great job of what they're given. The humor is good. It works. The CGI might not be perfect. I felt Steppenwolf was a throwaway. I felt that certain things that Wonder Woman created, it would have been nice if it was brought over. And like I said, the lack of Darkseid is the biggest thing I have with this movie. But still, despite all that, if you go into this movie with an open mindset and not try to think about Wonder Woman, you'll enjoy the movie. If you think about the fact that this movie will be better than Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, you'll probably still enjoy it. So, anyways, overall, I will give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 or a B-. Like I said, this movie is more average ground for me, but the more I think about it, honestly, it is a little bit better than just straight out average. So, the movie was still good. I enjoyed it. I have gripes about it, but still. Go see the movie if you just go to see it for an open mindset and you just want to have some good, lighthearted action fun, then you'll enjoy this movie. And thank you so much for listening. This has been GeekyAustin.